Hi guys, and welcome back to Berthelots Can Cook. It's the episode where we try challah bread. I've been watching Unorthodox on Netflix, and in the episodes we see this beautiful braided egg bread on the table during Sabbath, and I decided I love egg bread, so I'm gonna try it, but once again, it's a recipe I've never done. What I like about it is it's really basic ingredients. So we have our eggs. We need 2 regular eggs and 1 egg yolk, oil, yeast, sugar, 4 cups of flour, and water. That's it. So we're going to be trying to do that today, and what we have here is half a cup of warm water, and that's what we're going to be starting with. And what we're going to be adding to the warm water is about, let me look over my instructions, 1 teaspoon of sugar. So 1 teaspoon of sugar to the warm water, and then we are going to be adding our yeast to that. So let's sprinkle her in. And then the amount of yeast we're going to be using, it's been kept in the fridge to make sure it's still active. We're going to be using 3 teaspoons of yeast. Let's sprinkle that into our mix. 2, 3. So now we're going to have to leave it in here after we mix it for probably about 10 minutes or until it gets foamy to make sure that it is active. During that time, I'm going to show you the list of ingredients for the recipe in case you want to make this at home. Okay, so we've waited 10 minutes and now we have this foaminess, which means that the yeast is active. And we also need a second bowl that we're going to place a bit of oil in, because after we've kneaded this bread, we are going to actually be putting it in this bowl to rise. When it's doubled in size, we're going to be punching it down, letting it rise again, punching it down again, and then braiding it by putting it into 3 parts, and then letting it rise again, and then cooking it. So with any good recipe, I guess, it has to have a lot of time. So yeah, I have an oiled bowl here, and I'm just going to be adding the rest of the ingredients to this one. 2 eggs. The 3rd egg is to, oh shit. Wish that hadn't happened. It's fine, guys. Okay, the 3rd egg is actually to be painted on the outside of the bread once it's braided to give it that good color. I know that egg bread is really good when it has raisins in it, but I don't want to mess around with a recipe when it's the first time I've made it, obviously. It also said it's a really good recipe to make French toast or different types of recipes, which is right up my alley. Okay, so we have the egg in there, quite well mixed. And then we're going to be adding a 1/3 cup of oil. Great. Okay. At this point, we also need to add a teaspoon of salt. Never fails when I start making these videos, I nevertheless always get interrupted somehow. Okay, so a teaspoon of salt. Add that in there. Okay, 4 tablespoons of sugar. And for some reason this recipe didn't ask me to separate the dry from the wet, which is very strange because normally I would do that. So if it doesn't work, I have a feeling that I probably should have, but it doesn't state it, so. Okay, we will just leave it like that for now. And the other thing is it adds a 4th cup of warm water, even though we had water in at the beginning. I don't know. And we'll add that in there. Oh, I have a little audience. Well, you know, just makes it more realistic. Okay, and now the last ingredient is 4 cups. Wow, it's a va-et-vient. Okay, I'm gonna pause it for a second. Sorry, I was quite distracted. So I'm gonna continue now. 4 cups of flour. I'll probably have to speed this part up. After making quite a few breads, I now know you have to knead it for quite a long time in order to get a uniform consistency. So keep in mind this size because we want to wait till it doubles in size in order to punch it down again, which I'll show you. So I'm putting it in an oiled bowl and covering it with my beautiful traditional covering cloth. Okay, so now we've let the dough rise to double its size, and the instructions are to punch it down. There's oil on the bottom. To half its size. I have to say this feels really oily. I think we're gonna flip it over too, yeah. Looks good though. Okay. Now we're gonna leave it to once again double in size, and then we'll be braiding it. Okay, so now we're gonna be making, it's doubled again. We're gonna be punching it down to release the air that's in it, which there's actually quite a lot. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna be dividing it into 3 equal parts. Rolling it out and braiding it. I'm just gonna make it so that you guys can see what I'm doing. As you can see, it looks amazing. As you can see in the video, I tucked the ends under, and then I'm gonna put the cloth over it. And once again, letting it rise. So I'm setting my oven to 400, and I'm gonna let it rise again to double this size, and gonna be painting the egg yolk on to give it that sheen after. It's challah time. Okay, so we're gonna take our egg, And I have this little egg separator, which I just found in the drawer. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna separate. Oh, what? Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, wow, this thing does work. Okay, hold on, I need another bowl. Please don't separate on me. Got it, okay, whew, it's a close one. Okay, so I guess egg whites for no reason. All right, we're gonna take the egg yolk, we're gonna whip it, Challah. Okay, we're gonna cover this with the egg yolk. I wish I had one of those little fancy brushes that everyone has. I call it fancy, it's like a regular kitchen tool, but I don't have it. Okay, I'm gonna have to use my hand, which, you know, sometimes the textures and stuff feel really great. Just paint this on. You know, a hand probably does work better than a brush, even though it's not the most hygienic thing. I did wash my hands, so, oh, I can see why this gives it that nice brown color when you cook it. You can see it's quite a lot larger than the first time I braided it. Beautiful. I'm gonna get in those cracks. So at this point, I could add seeds to it, like sesame seeds, poppy seeds, anything like that. I think in the future when I make it, I'm actually gonna add, what did I say I was gonna add? Raisins. That would be really good, like a raisin loaf. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, let's see how it comes out of the oven. So yeah, we're putting it to 400 and we're gonna cook it for half an hour. Hey guys, this is the finished bread. Perfection. Strangely only took 15 minutes to cook at 400. However, the oven had been on for a long time, but that shouldn't matter. So finished product, Challah. I just wanted to share that I just cut this and it is literally perfect bread. Tastes so good.